Hi folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to an anime review. Today we're looking at episode 3 of Death March. So, I will admit, this show is starting to grow on me. I don't know if that's because maybe I'm fooling myself to believe this is getting better, or if legitimately it's actually getting better. Because honestly, this week's episode was solid. It really was. I still have issues with it, mind you, because of the fact that yes, Satu is still OP as hell, and I don't think he's ever going to change from that, but it's interesting to see, I think, some of the concepts that he is not like other characters in other shows that I'm used to. Where with Isekai, usually you have characters that really quickly enhance and get used to what they're going through. And Satu's taking his time a little bit, he's like even saying how he's not sure yet if he wants to be like heroic. He doesn't even understand how people in video games could be so heroic and go and just jump right into battle. Because he actually thought for a second to like go back to the starting room they got to, which I'll talk more about when I get to that point. But it's interesting to see his character go through this kind of reality check of that. He might be a powerful dude, but at the same time, I think he still has to realize he's a powerful dude. So I kind of dig that. So this week's episode, the first half was essentially him going on I'm not going to say date, but I'll say quote-unquote date with that one chick who, he had saved early on in the first episode. And now, with her, they were just going around the city. It was very uneventful. I was kind of bored, so that'll probably be a negative about the episode, is the beginning. Like, first 10 minutes was not that good. However, once we got to this part where this priest was talking about how people should throw rocks at slaves, and they're being half demons and stuff like that, right away Satu stepped in and so did the other girl to stop them. But lo and behold, Satu realized something was kind of off about this dude, and we find out that he was actually possessed by a demon that he had saw in the very beginning. And with his magical power, the demon transported him to a dungeon, which that whole sequence is where I was talking about initially, where Satu kind of came more to a better character to me. But more so than anything else, I just think that the second half of the episode was solid because of this dungeon. We saw that, Satu's skills actually finally came to play a little bit more. He was able to use his map reading abilities to see the whole layout of the dungeon, even see where enemies are. Well, not enemies, but he was able to see where the other characters were. He wasn't able to see, like, where the boss was, for example, the giant eye demon that was what came out of the being. But, he was able to kind of at least understand where he was. And I'll be honest with you, like, he said that was easy. If I saw that in a video game, that huge-ass dungeon, I would not think that'd be easy. I would think that would take me at least a good, 20 minutes of navigating, especially if you're one of the people like me who you feel like you have to go everywhere, even the dead ends, to see, all the items and make sure you collect everything. Because I'm pretty bad with that. RPGs, at least initially when I play RPGs, I'm one of those people that I have to explore every room to find every treasure chest because I want to do that. It's weird because other games, like other first-person explorers and stuff like that, I'm typically not like that. But in JRPGs and regular RPGs, like Western RPGs, like Skyrim and stuff like that, I have to see everything I can about a dungeon. And so, I'll spend what should be maybe like a 5-minute dungeon, I'll spend maybe 10 minutes wandering every hallway to look for every piece of loot and every piece of gear because it helps you later on, So, if I saw something like that, I'd be like, oh crap, this is going to take me forever. But, for Satu, apparently that was not a big deal. I did like the whole concepts with the slaves and stuff like that, though. I thought that was interesting, where he had to rename them because their master had died, and he couldn't do it. And I understand the pain of that. Like, in video games, I'm terrible at naming characters. Like, my main character is usually something that's pretty much close to what I always use for most of my game characters. So, if you guys have ever seen Ryunosuke, that's my name on video games. It's either that or 009 or etc. with that. But it's always usually the same thing. And it's not because I'm like, I'm just not that good at naming characters. I've always been like that. I can give basic names to people, but especially like JRPGs, I always had to use like either my name or use that type of name. So I get his pain with naming them and kind of, because originally the names were it was lizard, dog, and cat. So I mean that's pretty messed up. So anything he gave them was better than that. But at the same time, he also gave the girl, the one dog girl, named Poochie. And I'm like, dude, you gave her the name Poochie. Okay? And the lizard girl, you gave her the name Lisa, which, sure. And then the other one, Tamo, which, Tamo's like the only one that I think is close to something original, man. I was like, damn, dude. Slightly, I mean, I think I'm slightly better than that in video games. But, I dug that whole thing though. I really thought that whole sequence was actually pretty cool, and I love the fact that he was able to like enhance his gun further because he had not used this magical gun yet in battle, but then he was upgrading it and it became more accurate and did more damage. I thought that was kind of cool. So this week's episode wasn't that bad. It was overall a lot better than the last few that we had. It was definitely better than the first. So far, the second and third episode have been way better than the first one. That's a good thing. So the positive about this week's episode was, yes, we're finally getting, I think, a better part of the story. I do like Satu's character a little bit more, and I think that some of the concepts are a little bit stronger now. The bad stuff, though, is still the fact that he's still OP as hell, and I really hate the fact that he got so many titles. I don't know what game he played, but seriously, like, I don't know what games anyone's played that ever think that you get titles from everything. You get titles in video games for doing certain things, yes, even especially RPGs, but you don't get them every 2 seconds, man. You don't get them for, like, killing one enemy. It's like, you have to, especially if you want, like, the title Bug Killer gets after killing that bug in the dungeon. Usually you would get that after killing, like, several bugs or, like, a dozen bugs or something like that. Not, like, one bug. Oh, you're Bug Killer now. You got... Come on, man. Like, you look through his list of titles, he has like 1,000 titles already. It's like, come on, that's a little eccentric. But this week's episode I liked a lot, though. What did you guys think? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. As always, guys and girls, if you like my reviews, please think about hitting the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. To like the video, share the video, and check out my Patreon if you want to for various awards or stuff like that. I will talk to you guys later. I have one other review today, which is Love is Like After the Rain. That should be out probably in like 30-40 minutes. I'll try to get to that as soon as possible, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. If I don't see you in my next review, God bless you all. Bye-bye.